Shinny.
And we're away. Right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're listening to this podcast from Stramash Sports Media. We're here to look at Scottish sports, as ever, every week. And today we're delighted to have Roddy McLeod, erstwhile known as the Barhead Boy, joining us. A big Rangers fan, Roddy?
A big Rangers fan, big rugby fan.
You'll fit in very nicely, I hope. And Chris, how are you doing, mate?
Good, we've managed to overcome the technical difficulties. I was sort of hoping for Terry Wogan, but he never showed up.
And Glenn, how are you keeping, mate?
A lot better than I was last week, so it's great to be back.
Aye, good on you, mate. Right, let's start with rugby because Scotland trashed England and we weren't supposed to. Did anyone watch the match, by the way? I'm just asking in general because even if you weren't a rugby man, you might have watched a Scotland-England game. Glenn?
Yeah, no, I watched it. I through the back of through my hands, my fingers. I was thinking it's going to be awful, but no. I mean, what kind of Scotland team turned up? It was unreal. It was night and day from the Italy match. I mean, Gregor actually he got a performance out of them, or whether it was him or whether it was the players, realizing how bad they'd been before. But no, that was scintillating. Here's hoping they can turn up again.
Right, Roddy, do you think Scotland rugby team just turn it on against England because they're our oldest rivals, or is there something more to it than that?
Well, it's a wee bit like Aberdeen playing Rangers, isn't it? The only time Aberdeen play a data, they're like Real Madrid when they're playing the Rangers. I mean, the Scotland rugby team's been threatening for years. Every year's going to be our year.
Aye.
And then we go to Italy. We used to make jokes about the French. You don't know which French team's going to turn up, but it's now us. We are capable on our day of beating anybody, absolutely anybody. And as we saw in that performance, I mean, it was a magnificent performance. And some of the scores were just, our backs are electric. And although the English pack was stronger than us, we were limited to the ball, but we made the most of it and absolutely smothered them.
Yeah, I think that's the word, we smothered them. Chris, it looks as if Scotland have got strength and depth. The team's been changed for the game against Wales just because of injuries. But it does look as if Scotland have got a good place. They're in a good place there with the players they've got.
Aye, well, I mean, I said it last week. Whatever happens, just start strong. You've nothing to lose, start strong. And obviously it did. But I mean, there was a couple of moments. Well, I mean, if you take Finn Russell's kicking and the 2 moments individual brilliance, I mean, just night and day. Because I mean, we were watching it last year up in Drumnadrochit, and he let us down at the end. So it was just deliverance, really, wasn't it?
It was. Glenn, we mentioned him. We couldn't do a rugby show without him. Finn Russell, he creates things out of nothing. It appears. Maybe that's the skill he's got.
He's got what very few have in rugby: complete vision and mercurial skills. So he just. I saw an interview with him where he says, somebody had said, oh, have you practiced that slapping the ball before? He goes, it's not something you can practice. He goes, probably I'd get it there 6 times out of 10, but in the second, it just felt right. And that's it. Those that are blessed with really, really sublime skills can think like that, can just instinctively know what to do. Sometimes it doesn't come off, but almost everything came off from that game. He had an absolutely superb game. I mean, dinking the ball over, beating 3 players, dinking the ball over, and of course there's a mistake there from England, but he also knows that the ball's wet and a bit slimy kind of thing, so there's a real possibility that the English defender is going to do that, and we profited. It's been a long time since I've actually seen a Scotland side that went into the deep into the 22, etc., and profited, actually come back with really good returns. Normally we would grind them out, and it's maybe 1 in 3 or whatever. But almost every time we went forward, you're thinking we can score here.
Yeah, it was exciting. Roddy, do you think Gregor Townsend is relieved himself of any pressure now? Do you think he's got a safe tenure in the job?
I've got to let me. I thought that after the last World Cup he should have gone. I think he's done a magnificent job. I actually think he's run his race. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. He's made a fantastic job, and you know, the fact, if you're talking about, we're talking here about Finn Russell with the famous palm and the kick and everything, you know, if he played for the English, he would be an absolute global superstar.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause I actually refer to this as England playing 5 other nations. I don't call it the 6 nations because, you know, that's the coverage it gets. And Finn Russell is in a plane of his own, but he is, as Glenn says, susceptible to the mistake. I mean, who can forget against Argentina when we're 28-0 up, we're on their line, and he goes for the glorious, you know, the crossfield kick, and as I say, the rest is history. We end up losing it. Those things happen. But like with all geniuses, I mean that palm. If anyone who's played rugby who's watching this, that is so. I mean, it's nigh on impossible. I mean, I would suggest 9 out of 10, Glenn, would go amiss. Never mind, you know, 6 out of 10. It's just amazing. And then the way he sidestepped for the one where Ben White got the try. I mean, the man's just. But I'll be watching tomorrow as always. I love my rugby.
Me too.
But I'm nervous because it is.
I know.
You just don't know.
I know. And do you know what, Roddy? The other podcasters are saying we're ready to take on and hammer the Welsh. Don't be so stupid. That is not a wise thing to say. They are a wounded beast is the most dangerous beast, and they are wounded right now.
Yeah.
But Chris, I was asking Roddy there about Gregor Townsend. Do you think he's run his race? Do you think after the 6 Nations it's time for a change?
I would say so, but I mean, you need to ask who you're going to get in, really. But whatever he was going to do, he's done, I think. And at the minute, we're sitting in a fairly decent place. But one of the other Scottish guys said that after the game, you know, all well and good beating England, but we've done that before. So it's all about what you do now in the games that you might think you'd had a better chance in. And I mean, I don't think Scotland are there think they're going to turn up, get into Wales and just beat them. But yeah, hopefully he'll go out in a blaze of glory. But I think his time has come.
I think there's a general consensus all over the place that it'll be good to get Franco and, you know, the Frank Smith at Glasgow, because he's a modern manager and he knows how to treat injuries, and he knows the way modern rugby works, particularly with substitutions. I mean, Gregor Townsend's got it quite wrong sometimes, picking 5-1, only one back, and that's really dangerous because if you get a back sent off, who have you got? You've got one. It's very risky, but that doesn't really happen at Glasgow. They really do know who they're playing against, and the guy's a genius almost. But anyway, we've got Wales tomorrow. I'm just going to go round. What would you think, Glenn? Do you think we're going to win this game tomorrow? It's at Principality. We're away from home. We tend to slip up in these games, but do you think we've learned our lesson, got a better team this time?
Well, do I think we've learned it? Look, Van der Merwe's coming in. He's got a point to prove. He's the top try scorer. He's really fired up. He's been on the fringes of late, and he's a real talent. So if he turns up, you know, to be honest, even if he doesn't turn up, I think we're going to win it, but it's not going to be comfortable. Who can forget 28-0 up? Just winning 28-27, and that was a poor Wales team as well, you know. I think we will do it, but when we're expected to win, that's when we struggle the most, you know. So that's right across almost every sport for Scotland, you know. And I don't know where that fits in with our psychology or whatever kind of thing, but we're the overwhelming favourites, and I've looked at what the bookies' odds are: 1-16 for Scotland to win.
Is it?
It's unreal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, and there's not a chance because we are, well, you know, we have the potential for mistakes all over the place. We've also got the potential to actually run riot. So I don't know how it's going to happen. You guys heard of the Rayburn Shield?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So the Rayburn Shield, this is just to emphasise this is like this. It's becoming a bit more prominent now, kind of thing. But basically, it's a winner stays on kind of competition whereby after the first ever international match, Scotland won 1-0, and then we had it, and then England beat us, so they had it, and the constant champion is whoever wins it, you know. And England had it for 13 matches. We took it off them. And what they were saying in that is basically, Scotland don't hold on to it very often, okay? And the team that's taken it off us the most is Wales. And that's exactly who we've got next. You know, so look, everything's up for grabs. It's a brilliant championship. You know, if you'd asked me this the week before, I would not have been saying that. I was in the depths of despair. I think, how can we have done it again? You know, because we've never even finished second in the Six Nations. You know,
I was wanting his head in a stick. You know.
Oh, I know. So I'm on a roller coaster here. I went from the depths of despair. I'm optimistic. I'm thinking we might get our highest ever finish in the championship. So yeah, speak to me on Sunday morning, and I'll tell you exactly how I'm feeling.
Roddy, what do you think? Is this one for the taking? Scotland can take this.
I think if we'd beaten Italy, I'd be more nervous because I'd be thinking, this is time to shoot ourselves in the foot. We should, on paper and every way, we should actually run up a cricket score against Scotland. Shoot. That's what worries me. That's what absolutely worries me.
Yeah.
You saw how France disposed of them. They're really a bad lot. It's a shame for Wales, and it's so important to the Welsh people. But the funny thing, we're talking back to, if I may, just for a second, to the team on Saturday, and you're talking about Franco Smith. It was the first time in a long while that the Scotland team didn't have a single Edinburgh player.
Yes.
In the starting 15.
Mm-hmm.
And it was absolutely predominant. The Glasgow players were in. And I see Blair Kinghorn's back.
That's right.
To say is not a player I've ever sort of not, no. And I take it he's coming in at fullback, and it must mean that young Tom Jordan maybe is injured.
Yeah, Tom Jordan's out.
I'm not happy with that. I think he's a very good player, but we should win it. But if Scotland are 1-16, what price are Wales? It might be a wise investment to soften the blow.
Oh, you can't do that.
Oh, Chris, will you be watching the match tomorrow? I think it's on BBC. I'm not sure where it's on.
It'll be on somewhere. I'll definitely watch it. I'd repeat what I said last week. Strong start, and
yes,
you can't underestimate anybody, but just concentration. Keep 15 guys on the pitch, and just concentrate.
It is said though that the Welsh anthem was one of the best ever. But I tell you what, most visiting fans to Murrayfield say that the Scotland anthem's the best now. Agreed, gentlemen? Is our anthem the best, or is it still a cringy old dirge?
No, it's not ours is, but I just think the Welsh national anthem gets me. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for putting on a red jersey when I hear them sing. I think it's the best national anthem going. And the Marseille is another one which gets, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
We should probably get me arrested. The Russian one as well. It's certainly. I think the Welsh national anthem wins it hands down.
Aye. Right. Anyway, Glenn, have you got quiz questions for us? Let's test Roddy on this one. Let's see what he's like.
Right, okay, guys. We'll start off with Roddy, this is fine for you. Chris will probably moan because we're going back too far in time. We're going back to the 80s. So 1986. Roddy, it's also fine for me, and it's also fine for Norrie. I'm not picking on you. So 1986 was the last time that Hearts were involved in a title race. Losing out to Celtic on goal difference on the final day of the season, as Celtic thumped St Mirren 5-0, and Hearts lost 2-0 as they conceded 2 late goals to which team and which substitute scored both of them?
Oh, I don't know who scored.
Well, the substitute is now a Celtic legend.
A Celtic legend from Kilmarnock. Am I right with Kilmarnock?
Celtic. Wasn't
Tommy Burns. A Celtic legend in the sense he gave them the title. They revered him.
Tommy Burns.
Was it the guy that had a surname that the Hearts fans thought they'd won the league?
No, he's a Celtic legend because he handed them the title. If Hearts had drawn or won, that was it. Okay, so Celtic had to score a lot of goals and they had to get beat. And very late on in the game, this player came off the bench, scored 2 goals, and handed the title to Celtic. So he's a legend in that sense. But which club did he play for, and who is he?
Was it Kilmarnock?
Dundee.
It's not Kilmarnock. It is Dundee. Yep.
Albert Kidd.
Oh, Chrissy boy, off to a flyer.
No, the reason I know that is because, like, if any Hearts fans that weren't at the game were listening to it, they might have thought, I've seen it come up in the video printer or whatever. They might have thought Kidd, and so it was a double blow for them.
How did you get that one from the brain, Chris? Oh, my God.
But it sticks out because it's like, Kidd scored, but it wasn't it was Albert Kidd. So, that's why the Hearts fans thought, oh yeah, we've won or whatever, the ones that won at the game. So just stuck in my head.
He had another famous goal, didn't he? He had another famous goal, Mr. Kidd. Is it the same one? He scored for Hamilton against Rangers to put them out of the cup.
Was that the sprint?
Was that? I can't remember. See, I'm sure I know nothing. You see, that'd be good.
Adrian Sproat, was it?
Sproat, aye.
I was about to say, if he knocked Rangers out the cup and he gave them the league title, Celtic fans, oh my, he'd be raised to God status. Listen, we'll get on to football in a minute. In fact, we'll get on to football now. Did anyone see the Celtic game last night? They were playing in Europe. They got quite a drubbing. Chris, what did you make of it? Did you see it?
I saw most of it. Just Schmeichel. You can tell he's putting on the back. I think he's just not the same. He's not got the same aura about him. I mean, his dad, when even it was at the sort of tail end of his career, he was still 100% fitness wise. So I think he just has to work a bit harder on himself. That you don't playing against fourth in the German league, just missed out in qualification automatically. So
they were a good team.
They were there to be exposed.
Yeah, Glenn, it does mean that for the Champions League round next year, we're limited to one team because of the coefficients going right down. So it does have an impact. Our team's losing, even if you don't like the team.
Yeah, to be fair, though, it's deserved. This has been a fairly horrendous season in Europe for Scottish clubs right across the board. And, the last few years haven't been great. There's been a couple of clubs individually that have done okay, but we're getting our comeuppance. We're just not doing it. And that's when Chris's point about Schmeichel is he's probably the biggest concern for me. If you're to step back and look and think, can Celtic do something domestically? He's costing them goals every single week almost. And it started last season as well. He was culpable for the goal that got Aberdeen back into the cup final. Really, he should have saved that. And I don't know whether that was, that's knocked his confidence. But he's not the guy he was before. But he's getting on a bit, and he's had a great career. But I think Celtic will definitely be looking elsewhere.
Yeah, Roddy, what do you make of Celtic's performance last night? Lackluster, to say the least.
Yeah, for years, and I'm not just saying this because of my allegiance, but they've been really poor in Europe for a long while. Going back to the Strachan days was the last time they really made a fist of it. Last night was a plot. I mean, on Schmeichel, he had a really bad injury and he came back from that. And his first game back was the cup final, if I'm not mistaken, and that was bad. And then I think Kenny McLean broke him at Hampden. I think he finished him off because he doesn't look. He's really having a stinker. On my Blue Nose hat, keep him in goals. Don't drop him. Keep him.
We agree.
A very good backup keeper who came in for a few games, and he looked very good.
He did.
I wouldn't be surprised if he gets back in against the Hibs on Sunday. Really terrible. Really terrible. They just. I mean, Martin's got a tune out. They've managed to, getting 112 minutes for every game helps. Do you think though, Roddy, that the fans' reaction before the match, throwing things onto the pitch, Martin O'Neill was pretty annoyed at that. He's quite right. Maybe I'm an old traditions, but see the ones that set off the smoke things and the throwing stuff on the pitch. you're not helping your team. You're not helping. There's a time and a place, and okay, they're upset at their board, but that doesn't help their team in one bit. And I just think it's the wrong way to demonstrate.
Yeah, Chris, this was at the start of the game. A lot of preparation's gone into it. A lot of the processes of starting a match and how to perform. This just put them off and maybe gave Stuttgart an edge, thinking this is a club in a bit of disarray. Let's take them.
I probably thought it was a cricket team or something, a tennis team or something. It's petulance, and I understand you've got to make your point known and all the rest of it, but doing that, disrupting everything, I don't know if it would have helped or hindered, but it's just wee petty-minded, petulant people. It's like schoolboy stuff. So I definitely don't agree. But you're allowed your point of view, but voice it as and when. But no. What I would have loved to have seen the sort of wee notes passed around them. Right? Okay. What's this business process and what's it actually meant to achieve if all goes well? Do you know what I mean? It just felt jog on.
The other game, Glenn, that was on this week, Aberdeen played Motherwell in a game of, my goodness, lots of incidents at Pittodrie. Our team came up on top, but Jens Berkel Askew was very magnanimous in defeat, but he must be absolutely boiling because I don't know about you, Glenn, but see that second sending off, I think that was a bit harsh.
What, the Aberdeen sending off?
No, the third then. The Motherwell
sending off.
All right, okay, yeah. Yes and no. I heard comment. I mean, I think it's Paul McGinn said that he'd have definitely caught him. I'm thinking, in what universe are you catching that boy? I mean, obviously like 33 or whatever, and Olasania is as fast as whatever kind of thing. So no, there is. It all depends on your view as to whether it's there is covering defenders. Both covering defenders are a little bit further back, but they're far out wide. They've got more ground to cover. It's a cynical foul, so it's a definite yellow. Okay, and I think that's exactly what he issued. And then, obviously he's called the VAR because VAR thinks otherwise. So I can see both sides. The big question for me is it a clear and obvious error? So I don't think it is. I can see if on the pitch he says, I send you off, I agree. Okay, if he says yellow card, I can also see that as well. I agree. The point I have a problem with is, I don't think it's a clear and obvious error by the referee because it could be either one.
I guess at this point, Glenn, it's always fair to ask, if it happened at the other end, how would you be feeling?
Well, exactly. I mean, I'd be angry and upset, kind of thing. But I can see both.
Yeah.
I can see where the manager's coming from that point of view. But I can see both interpretations. But I don't think that should really detract from the fact that Aberdeen's strategy of being absolutely awful in the league to them, to sucker them in and then hit them in the cup because we've got nothing else to play for in the league, I think it was great. It was a masterstroke from Levine.
Oh, man. Roddy, I don't know if you've been watching Motherwell, but my God, what a team they are.
They've been excellent. They've got two boys in the middle of the park, the boy Watts and the boy the New Zealand boy.
Yeah,
really are two very excellent players. And I mean, the problem, I suppose, for Motherwell is hanging on to them is going to be the biggest problem.
Of course.
But, that's the way the club operates. I mean, they get that, what was it, 4.7 million for the young lad that went to Italy.
Yeah, Miller.
Lennon Miller. These boys will go as well. There's talk at Rangers and Celtic have got their eye on that boy Watts, and I think he's a cracker. He's one that actually maybe Stevie Clark should be looking at, and it's in my opinion, it's time to look at I mean this with no disrespect to the provincial clubs instead of just looking at the big two, and I think a player like him deserves, especially with these friendlies against Japan and is it Quaraco or whatever it is, Dick Advocaat's team from the Caribbean, wishes to give us an equivalence for the Haiti game.
Yeah.
So we've got those two games coming up at Hampden. To me, I would get that boy Watts is definitely one I would like to see. I think he's an excellent.
Absolutely.
And I would suggest they'll not hang on to their manager for long either. Whether he'll stay in Scotland, Aberdeen, Celtic, or whether one of the dafties down the road with the big checkbook will come, because he's obviously a manager that knows what he's doing.
He does. And one of the things, Chris, that he was, after the match, he was very magnanimous. He says the only way Aberdeen were going to beat our team was if we lost 2 players. Because in the match, Motherwell was still a dominant team despite being a man shorter than Aberdeen. It does take a team a lot of guile to beat Motherwell. Aye,
they've got players that can hurt you, and just the way they're set up. Even guys like Paul McGinn, he'll set up to look for, it's like not quite the same as Man U, but always looking for a pass that'll punish your team. There's nothing really that you can just slip us on for 10 minutes or whatever. They're always looking to try and hurt you, and you're a very, very good team, and I think they're going to. They talk about the top 3, but there's a wee chance that they might just nip in. You don't know, but I wouldn't rule it out, because they obviously they're not scared of anybody now, and why should they be? Should be scared of absolutely nobody. So just great team.
That's a good point, because
they've only lost 1 goal at Fir Park since October, and they haven't been beaten at Fir Park since October.
I know.
Too many draws. That's their problem.
He did say, Roddy, after his the match against Aberdeen, now that we're out of the cup, we're concentrating on the league, and there's 2 things I want to do. I want to beat the Old Firm at Parkhead and Ibrox. He's got big plans, and he's not scared. And that's what you want from a manager, isn't it, Glenn? You just want somebody who's got the backing of the players and can encourage them, almost Ferguson-esque. Take on the big boys. You can do it.
Oh, totally. Look, he's a breath of fresh air. His attitude to whoever he plays against, it's brilliant. We've got the ball. We'll keep the ball. We're going to knock it about. You've got centre backs that are playing out, and they're playing out comfortably. Everybody seems to be good in possession, and they move quite quickly. They find the spaces, they press, they don't stop moving, kind of thing. And if I was Celtic and Rangers, and I'm facing Motherwell, I'd be very concerned. Celtic were very lucky to beat them a time before. They were the better team, and almost every game I see them in, I walk away thinking, as a neutral, I really enjoyed that. So when we get to the top 6 this year, I'm really looking forward to it, because obviously Motherwell going to be in there. I think Hibs will be there, and Falkirk. You're going to actually have 6 teams in there that can actually all take points off each other. This is going to be the most competitive top 6 in many a season. I can't recall the last time whereby you look at a game, you think, I actually don't know which way it's going to go, because lots of the teams are fragile at the back, and most of the teams have got people that can hurt them. And maybe Hibs, I'm not too sure with the loss of Kieran Bowie, how effective they're going to be, etc. But definitely the rest of them. And I think Hibs will probably find their way as well. It's going to be an exciting end to the season.
Well, now that we're stuck on you, Glenn, what about a second question on the quiz? Let's get going with that, and then we'll get to
absolutely. Okay, so okay. Of the 3 Scandinavian countries, Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, which one do Scotland's men's team have the best win ratio against?
I'm tempted to say Sweden, because I can remember beating them at, I think it was Ibrox we beat them. John McGinley got the goal, remember? And then we beat them in the World Cup. Denmark has been a bit of a sticky. I'll go Sweden. I'll say Sweden.
You're going to go Sweden. Okay, Chris and Roddy?
I'm going to go Norway, just because I remember, to my dying day, I'll remember that game when we come back from the dead. I watched it in Poland in a sports bar, where I was the only Scot in the building, and of course with the 2 goals in, and I was going mental. And all these Polish people were looking at me, wondering what the hell was going on.
This is when they'd taken Haaland off, and they thought it was all done.
I thought it was all done, and then that was just, I think, one of the most pleasing victories ever till we played Denmark. But I'm going to go for Norway, yeah.
Chris, what are you going for?
Well, I can't go for Norway, because I was teaching football in the States, and Scotland got beat 4-0 there, so that didn't get in well. I might as well go for. I'll just go for Denmark then. Just to be the odd one out.
Right.
Honestly, so Chris, you're on a flyer. It's Denmark. Sweden is 42%. Norway is 50%. But our record against Denmark, obviously helped by recent events, is a 60% win rate against them.
Wow.
Played them 20 times. Won 12, drawn 1, lost 7.
Wow, good question, Glenn. Good question. Could have been any of us. It was pot of luck in that one. But we'll give it to you, Chris. You're on a roll, mate. Because we've got our Rangers supporter in, we very rarely talk about Rangers in this podcast, Roddy, for obvious reasons. But listen, how does a man, an independent man, support a unionist club like Rangers? What is it within you?
Let me firstly correct you on that one.
Right.
Two things. The most unionist club in Scotland actually has ex-members of the British cabinet ministers, governors of the Bank of England, Tory lords, and that would be the team in the East End of Glasgow. And our friend Stuart Campbell did an opinion poll, and he found that about 40% of the Rangers fans support independence. And he found it, of course, with our friends in the East End of Glasgow, a third of them are British unionists, which is the one I can't understand. Now, I can understand that.
I can't understand that.
No time for them, but there's a logic to it. But I cannot understand how any Celtic fan can support the British Union. But how come? Well, one, my father was a Rangers man. When I was born, I was living in Hillington. I went to my first game in 1956 when George Young was still playing for the Rangers, and it was against the Hearts. We beat them 2-0. And so that was my first game when I was 4 years of age, and I was carried over the turnstiles, and my father took myself and my brother to make sure that we knew which team we were supporting. So I've always been a blue. When I used to go to I've been in the I joined the SNP in 1968, and so when I used to go with my pals together, they used to take the mickey. Here, the SNP guy, that, and it was a laugh. And then when it started getting, when we started getting a bit of traction, it changed. I mean, it really did change. But the amount of people, Rangers fans. I mean, when I go, I follow Scotland everywhere. When you meet Scotland, the amount of Rangers fans I meet following Scotland, we're all going to know, what it's like, because we get that reaction. So the reality is, there's a huge. You couldn't win all the seats in Glasgow and in Scotland if you didn't have Rangers fans voting for the Independence Party.
That's true.
It's a bit of a myth. Well, yes, the majority are knuckle-dragging nutters, and I can't abide them. But huge amount of people either.
But Roddy, would you wear a Union flag to the Rangers game? Would you wear the colours?
No, I would not wear the Union flag. No, I'd never have enough. I used to get a lot of stick for refusing to sing the national anthem.
Oh, that's another one that would get my.
Yeah, I can't go. I mean, that was the thing that got me. As I got older in my politics, and it was difficult. And even now when I'm watching a game in the television and I hear them belting out some of those songs, I go, oh.
I know.
Your team's your team.
I know. Well, listen, there's a stat here. This is one for your quiz, Glenn. Danny Roll, the Rangers manager, 46 out of possible 57 points since he took over in October. That is not a bad ratio, is it? And they've come up
not bad at all.
I know.
Did a good job.
He's doing a good job. Are you you must be happy, Roddy, with that?
Well, I saw a thing today. Since he took over, Rangers, if you take all the games since he took over, Rangers are 7 points clear, I think, of Motherwell. Something like that. Yeah, he's doing great, and he's getting a tune out of people that you looked at and thought, dear God, how did we buy this guy? Yeah, he's done a great job. Whether we can carry it over the line, I mean, I hope so. But so much battle scars, particularly since 2012. We've had so many false dawns, but he's doing a great job, and I'm hopeful without being overconfident.
Aye, Chris, that's an amazing stat, isn't it? He's kind of come up from nowhere, winning games all the time, but then we've always expected Rangers with their deep pockets to buy good players in the Scottish League.
Yeah, but I mean, they were buying them, but they weren't showing
up. We're paying for them.
you know, Dimitri, when I think he scored his first goal in 10 games, and he was giving it the big man and all that. But you know, you're thinking there's an arrogance there. But recently, you're thinking, well, it's, you know, I don't agree with arrogance, but you're saying, well, you know, it's paying off. Obviously, Danny's kept the faith in him, and it's certainly paying off. And they're playing far more like a team now. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm. They are indeed. Still, I honestly think Motherwell could still beat a team like Rangers, with the two teams up against each other. Even at Ibrox, I think they could. And I think Hearts have got a really tough. If Hearts play at Motherwell, you would never. That'd be the game of the century right now. I think Hearts needing the points, Motherwell in form. It's all to play for in this league. It's one of the most exciting leagues we've had for a long time, Glenn.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I wish we were involved, obviously, but we're not. But stepping back and looking at it, kind of thing, the mix is just fantastic. So Hearts being caught a little bit, kind of thing. Celtic have a game in hand. I mean, you're talking about great managerial stats. You just have to look at Martin O'Neill. So 10 games in charge, 9 wins and 1 draw. So domestically, you know, so he's doing really well as well, domestically. So everybody's on the coattails of and trying to catch Hearts. Hearts have got the 4 games that still remain before the split. 3 of them at home, none of them to teams in the top 5. So they've got an excellent chance of going in there, still being top at the split. And then you've got the 6 teams I was alluding to before that can all take points off each other. Yeah, Motherwell can win at Celtic Park, they can win at Ibrox, etc. But so can anybody in that group there. It's going to be really exciting. Now, in previous seasons, when it's been like Celtic or Rangers or whatever, there's been a lot of focus and attention on okay, you've played 3 times. Mm-hmm. Who gets the extra home games in the important games? So when they do that draw, it's going to be really intriguing who gets their home advantages and against which clubs. You know, honestly, there's so much to look forward to. It's just a shame that the one true club in Scotland isn't involved in this mix.
I know. Roddy, it would be good, wouldn't it? Somebody outside the old firm winning the league for a change. Or do you take a partisan view and say, no, it's got to be Rangers, nobody else?
No, I think for Scottish football it would be, but I'm a Rangers fan. Obviously, I want to see my team doing it. I mean, at the moment, it would be a change for us, the minute. I was reared in success, but the other thing, talking about the fixtures, Rangers have got to play at Tynecastle after the split, Tynecastle and Parkhead. We also got to one other way because of the way it's worked out. So we'll either be playing, I think it's either Falkirk or Easter Road we've got to play. So the Rangers have got really the hardest running, but you've got to hope, like Hearts, we've got Celtic next week, who'll be coming back from playing in Stuttgart. And you've got to wonder what Martin will do, because there's not much chance of turning this tie around. No. So, but he doesn't want the club to be absolutely humiliated in Germany. So does he rest players or does he put out his best? What does he do? He's got a problem there, one way or the other, because they could be demoralised if they get absolutely hammered in Germany. So we've got them, but after that, we've got no one in the top 6 either till the split. We've got a couple of games against that team up. What do you call them? Red Strips. Pretty crap. I can't remember what you call them again.
The brilliant Aberdeen.
Oh, that's the ones. Yeah.
No, you don't call them that either. Not this season.
Not this season.
Peter Levine seems to be getting them pointing in the right direction. He could be, if you don't get the guy from Motherwell, then he wouldn't be such a bad choice, maybe.
I don't know where Cormac's going with this team and the club. That's a plethora of managers, and to be honest, Glenn and Chris, I think Aberdeen were lucky to win the Scottish Cup. Schmeichel made a mistake, blah, scored penalties, and we're the champions. Papered over a hell of a lot of cracks, didn't it?
It did. Look, we went in there on a horrendous run, and I think we got beat badly by Celtic the week before, etc. But apparently, Mitov came out and said the entire week you know, in the lead up to the cup final. It was a masterstroke from Yimi, but the only masterstroke we saw for some time. I'll tell you that, because he's talking not if we win the cup, when we win the cup, all these little things, kind of thing. And they did actually. That's the first time since I think it would have been Levine. In the previous season that we, you know, when we played Celtic in the cup, and Aberdeen were really dangerous, and we were unlucky to go out again. I think it was on penalties to Celtic in that one. You know, normally they give us a torrid time, so it's paper over the cracks. A lovely way to paper over the cracks. It extended Yimi's time with us, unfortunately. You know, the preparations were awful during the summer. And like playing about 2 or 3 friendlies, one was behind closed doors, wrong teams. I mean, we got off the flyer the season before when we were in the League Cup group stages. You know, we started getting win after win after win, and we built it slowly. But we weren't convincing in our wins either. I mean, it was a great run, but there were lots of late goals, etc. But nobody could sit back and say, "Oh, I'm really enjoying the football." It's more like heart attacks every single week.
Yeah.
So he's done badly with his appointments. Pressure on him, but he's appointed this guy from Germany now, Luft, you know, and you know, he's a sporting director, so he's taken a little bit of pressure off him, you know. And to be honest, he's not done greatly either. The boy at Hornland, you know, he won't commit. He's been identified as a number 1 choice, etc. And he was on apparently Viaplay the other day saying that they were asking, will you be the new manager of Aberdeen in the summer? He's going, well, maybe. You think?
Yeah, the thing about that one, Glenn, is that he's still under contract with Saint Etienne, and he's waiting for a severance period. So you can't say that he's got a job because he might lose out on his cash or something. There's a strategic reason for it.
But you have to think yourself though, if Cormac wanted him, he is a multi-millionaire. You know, he's not far off being a billionaire. He's like in the hundreds and hundreds of millions he's got, you know. He's banked it from selling his software development company over in America, and he's invested wisely. If this is the guy that he's identified and he really thinks is the person taking forward, pay the compensation.
I would go for the Motherwell lad. I would think, you know, if he's got the go for him, he knows
I would agree.
How to set up a team.
Me too.
I think he's the boy to go for.
Yeah. But it's not the guy they seem to have identified, though. But yeah, I would agree with you. He's, you know, honestly done wonders since he came in. But maybe he's eyeing like one successful season with Motherwell. You know, if he does really well, gets them up really high in the league and all that kind of stuff, maybe, you know, he's off to the Championship in England next season. I don't think he'd get a Premier League job, but you know, everything's a stepping stone if you choose a path carefully.
Well, a lot of Aberdeen fans are looking at John McGlynn and thinking if he can do that for Falkirk, what could he do for Aberdeen? That might be a good signing. But is that, I don't know. That seems to be the ballot. It's either the Motherwell, the Falkirk manager, or this new guy coming in, and we still don't know who we're getting. It's a bit of a mess, isn't it?
On the John McGlynn one, though, Norrie, I mean, I can see that. I think John McGlynn deserves a chance somewhere. Whether it's Aberdeen, I don't know. He's done wonders. He's been a very, very good manager. He was in charge of Hearts for a wee while. I think he was interim manager there, kind of thing. He can spot talent. So Kieran Bowie off to like Hellas Verona in Serie A. It's him that spotted him as a schoolboy, as a 16-year-old, you know, and gave him his chance for Wraith Rovers, you know. He spotted a boy that was playing university football. He's just signed him on a long-term contract. He's doing really, really well. I watched a game recently, about 3 weeks ago. He scored 2 goals in that game. He's really good at man management. And I think when they were in the Championship, they got back-to-back promotions. When they were playing in the Championship and they went to play Celtic as well, they gave him a game. He's not scared of anybody. No. Play attacking football, and he plays young Scottish players. You know, and there's not many that do that, you know?
There's no, that's a fact, Len. I'm trying to think of the Aberdeen. There's two or three Scottish guys. 3. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Just got notice of see the Scotland games. All the Scotland matches before the World Cup are going to be shown live on the BBC. Just got that in. There's 14 matches that'll be broadcast live on BBC. Now, I'm not sure if that's live on BBC Radio Scotland or if it's, you know, or on the television channel. Just says they're going to be broadcasting them live. That's something to look forward to. on
14
Crucial
Scotland
Telly.
matches.
Mm. There's loads of friendlies. There's this competition, this cup thing we're in, Cup of Nations.
The Nations League. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
And all that kind of stuff. How are we doing for time? We've got 25 minutes.
Well, we've done less than an hour, but we're obviously over time.
Aye, we'll just do the hour to get fill it in for folk. Roddy, well, no, get Chris. Chris, we're speaking about Motherwell, Hearts, good teams, but we're missing out in Falkirk a wee bit, and Dundee are now coming on to a bit of form as well. There is some fantastic talent in Scottish football, and I think it was you that said it earlier, Glenn. Any team can beat any other team. Do you still think that
Definitely.
holds as we go in, Chris?
Well, I mean, I think Livy are a bit isolated down the bottom now, but I mean, I'll repeat it. I said at the start of the season, and they are barely, but Falkirk, I could quite easily see them with John McGlynn in the top six. So that none of that surprised me, and they're attacking football as well. What did surprise me is the way Dundee have had a sort of semi comeback, really. I suppose for me, I just thought they were gone. I couldn't see Stephen. I think he was probably a couple of us had him, in the sweepstakes just as first to go, but he's managed to hold on. So I mean, definitely Falkirk. They might end up climbing higher. I don't know, but yeah, there's still a few decent games to go. And the Scottish thing, I mean, if you remember back to Dundee United, they didn't have one Scottish guy. When you think of the Ralph Milnes, the Hamish McAlpines, the Malpasses and all that take on Europe.
Yeah.
So it's went full circle there. But no, there are teams that are playing a wad of young Scottish guys, and I suppose once the league splits, you're hoping that they take even more advantage of that and blood the guys.
Indeed, and it bodes well for the Scottish national team, Roddy, if we blood out and play Scottish players.
Yeah, we'll soon have more Scottish players playing in Italy than we will in Scotland at this rate. And I think it's great. I think it's great to see the lads going there, and they've obviously, the Italians have spotted that our boys know how to work, midfielders in particular. So that's great. But I'm with everyone. I would like to see more kids coming through and Scottish lads coming through. This academy that Rangers have spent millions upon, and what have we had over the years? Not very, very little. Nathan Patterson and now I'm struggling. I can't think. Celtic similarly. There's who's come through. The ones that have come through, like the ones that went to Aston Villa. Rangers just got £1 million back from Aston Villa. That young boy Rory
Wilson.
Yeah,
he gets sold for £6 million. Ben Doak from Celtic goes down.
Ben Doak.
And I think Aberdeen have lost a couple of lads as well that have gone down there south. But I would like to see some Scottish lads coming through.
Yeah, we've just withdrew the contract from Alfie Babbage, who's been scoring for fun with Inverness Cali Thistle. Yeah. It seems to be cutting your nose to spite your face,
But
Glenn. I don't know.
Fans are too impatient, particularly Rangers and Celtic. That's the problem. Rangers should have taken in my opinion, back when we come up in 2013, come through the ranks, which they've just thrown in the kids and gone for it. Remember, it said with Man United, it was Alan Hansen that said you don't win an English Premiership with kids. Well, Ferguson proved them wrong. Yeah, you look at Jamal in Barcelona, he's only 16 now, maybe 17. This young boy, Mickey Moore, surely we get someone in our boys' team we could be using instead. Why are we training other boys, developing other boys instead of our own? I'd like to see more coming through the academies.
But Roddy, you don't have to train yours. You send them to Aberdeen on loan. Lyle Cameron is playing really well, by the way.
Yes,
I think he should be getting more time. You're a feeder club for us. Connor Barrett, Brian Gillette, my boss.
Roddy, is this the last time he's on the show?
Cut the mic and Roddy.
Connor Barron. He's a Judas.
He's actually come on. He's come on. But he's that bad injury. I don't know. We'll see how he gets when he comes back from it. But he was really playing well before his injury. He was really one of our better players.
I know.
That wasn't difficult at that time. That's it.
No. he wasn't that great a player for Aberdeen. That's why we got rid of him.
No.
My God, he was he was shambolic sometimes. Right, let's get the predictions. Chris, have you got the table there?
Aye, talking of shambolic, here we go. Aye. You want the all right, we'll start with I suppose we should start with Saturday then. So Aberdeen against Dundee.
Oh, right. Now, Glenn, you take this and you go first because I'll just spout a
Oh, thanks, Nori. I honestly, I don't know what to do here. How to call this one? Which Aberdeen team turns up? Look, in the cup we played well. We were obviously helped with a couple of red cards, but I mean, even though we were putting plaudits on Motherwell, etc. If you look at the attacks, etc., I think we had like 14 shots. We had 3 times as many shots on target as them as well. It was good movement. It was poor defending from Motherwell though. See, like the Graham Shinnie goal. You've got 5 Motherwell defenders back there when the ball's passed to him, and they're all watching and it's a great strike, etc. Dundee, they're starting to come back. They're playing better than they were, but they haven't won at Pittodrie since 2004. So that is a horrendous record. And the last time they were here, we played well. I think Aberdeen will build on this. We've got to start somewhere, haven't we? In the league, we've got to find one fixture to build on. I think is this one. Top 6 is gone for us. Gone. I think you'll look. Doherty's in there now, and we're talking about managers that play young players. When he was in charge of Dundee, he played a lot of young boys, and a lot of them have got moves now as well. He developed a lot of players, and I thought he was treated quite harshly by them. Anyway, he's back. He's a good coach. He used to, he spent a lot of time obviously with McInnes at Aberdeen. He's going to be a real boost for us in the final few months of the season. I think Aberdeen win this one. I'll take 2-1.
2-1, 1-1 for the Dons. Roddy, what about you? Do you think Dundee have got in?
I've looked at that. I mean, I was thinking, Dundee I was some statistic they haven't won there since 2004. Well, Aberdeen's the only one that's got a worse record. Pittodrie. No, I see. I mean, Dundee, as you said, we're coming back, but it's at home for Aberdeen. Aberdeen are starting. I mean, I think Peter Levin's a very good coach, actually.
Yep.
It's a difficult. I'm going to. I see it as a score draw, 1 each.
1 each from Roddy. Chris, how do you see this one going?
Well, I think Aberdeen will take confidence for the fact that they're well out the top 6 now and just move on to that and build in the win against Motherwell. So I fancy Aberdeen to create a bit of magic now that it's the top 6 is out.
Where are you getting this optimism from?
Well, no, but there's the slippers are on now, so it's like, yeah, here we go. So I would say 2-0 Aberdeen. I think it'll be quite a comfortable win.
2-0.
Hopefully with a full house.
Well, you say that Dundee haven't been doing that well, but see, if you watch them play, they do play good attacking football, and they're very good at the press. They know how to retreat back and defend. They're a very good team. They're getting better all the time, and I'm really worried about this. If we get a draw, I'll be happy with that, and I'm going for a 1-1 draw as well, and we'll be happy with it. Honestly, Dundee, watch out for them. Really good team. Next one up, Chris, what have we got?
Dundee United, Kilmarnock.
Dundee United, Kilmarnock. Who wants to take this one on? Chris, back to you.
Right, well, I mean, I don't have to have so much of a bounce with McCann and Dodds, but I think they're starting to get on an even keel with them. So, I mean, what was it? Goodwin was saying the next team they're meeting in the cup, we'll treat them with respect. You're like, mate, you barely got by through against Spartans, we'll treat them with respect. Good enough for you, mate. So I don't know. I think that's it's not normally like Goodwin, but I think that's the attitude. It's like, yeah, well, I don't know. I fancy Kilmarnock definitely at least get a draw. I'd say 1 each draw then. Yep.
Was it a home game for Killie?
No, Dundee United.
Dundee United.
No.
Glenn, what do you think this one? A stodgy, nothing matters apart from relegation, maybe for both teams?
No, I think an error-strewn 2-2. I'm not really impressed with almost any team in Scotland's defence at the moment. Everyone seems to be leaking goals and defending very poorly. I think it's been a long time since I've seen a really, really decent defending team in Scotland. And these two, they're very leaky. They're also scoring goals as well. So both teams, Killie unlucky against Celtic. I mean, Celtic, gifted them the first goal. But I think Killie will score. I think Dun United will. I mean, they were in a bad run, but they got a good win against Falkirk. It was a strange game. They won 3-2. I think it'll be a 2-2.
2-2.
It's a hard one because it would seem that McCann and Dodds are starting to get a wee bit of a tune out of Killie.
Right.
As you say, Dundee United beating Falkirk, I was quite surprised about that. Maybe they had a couple of weeks layoff. Maybe they were a bit fresher. I'm struggling with this one as well. It's got draw written all over it to me, and I think it could be a 2-2 sounds about right to me as well. 2-2.
I always think that home games count for something. Dundee United are good, but it seems to me that the fans are getting on the back of Goodwin on this one. I think it'll be a tough afternoon. I'm taking Killie to do it. I think they need. I think they've got the better management team to get them over this hurdle. I'm taking Killie to get a 2-1 win.
Right.
Chris.
So next one up in the McGlynn Special, Hearts against Falkirk.
This has got the hallmarks of a cracker. A real cracker. I saw a clip, a player, I think it was James McFadden was analysing how Falkirk play, and they play from the back very, very easy. And they goes through the teams, and one pass takes out 4 players. This is how they get their success. That killer pass from the back through the midfield to the strikers, and working 1-2s and 3s in the box. It's really difficult to play against because Falkirk have got the players to do that kind of football. It's going to be a tough one for Hearts. And I always think it's a bit like Arsenal in down south. The closer you get to the title, the more nervy you get and the more things happen to you that you can't explain. I think Falkirk might perhaps put a spoke in the Hearts wheels here. I think it'll be a 1-0 win to Falkirk. Play.
Good shout, eh? That'll make it interesting. But it's definitely possible. I mean, both teams need to bounce back. That was a hard one for Hearts, and they lost to Rangers, and Falkirk surprised defeat to Dundee United. McGlynn will have them fired up, and he's obviously going back to his old club as well. And they don't fear going anywhere.
No.
I want to say it's going to be a draw, but Falkirk don't really draw. Last 6 matches, 3 wins, 3 losses. Lots of goals. But I am going to say this will be their first draw in a while. I think it's going to be. I'm going to go 1-1.
1-1.
Well, I'm going to be controversial. I think Hearts will win quite comfortably. Actually, I really they're at home. Tynecastle, as we all know, is a cauldron. They really need to bounce back. They really need to, because if they slip now, I think it'll be back to business as usual. The hod it and dod it in Glasgow. But I fancy Hearts to win 2-0. I really do.
2-0 to the Hearts.
Yep.
Right. Chris, what's your score in this one?
Well, I thought Steinvender had an absolute just abomination for the first maybe half hour against Rangers, but he seemed to steady himself a wee bit. So I don't think it'll be much, but I just think Hearts might squeeze this one 1-0.
You're going Hearts as well, right? 1-0. Oh, that's going to be a really interesting game. What time's that one on, by the way? Any idea what time that one's getting played?
Tell you right now.
3.
Talk among yourselves.
3 o'clock.
I think it's 3 o'clock. Yeah.
So they're not going to do a late kickoff or something. That would have been a good match, late kickoff.
I think St Mirren Motherwell's a late kickoff. I think it's 7:45.
Is it?
Must be on one of the channels somewhere.
7:30
Premier
kick
Sports
off,
cover
yeah.
Yeah. And now we've got all the Serie A games with the Scots every Sunday as well. 2:00 on Alaba.
I know. It used to be Channel 4 that used to put the Italian games on way back in the day. Remember?
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
Yeah. And now
They
it's
did that for Gaza. We're doing it for McTominay, Gilmore, Shea Adams,
Aye.
Lennon Miller. There's so many out there, Doig.
Ferguson.
Yeah, exactly.
But we can watch the Hearts Falkirk game before the rugby, so that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, because the rugby's on later, isn't it?
Yeah, 4:30. So
yeah.
Oh, good shout.
Aye.
So,
Aye.
Once the Heart, I think they're cracking.
4 tellies.
I hope it's.
I know it's going to be a cracker, humdinger match, that one, both teams. Next one up, Chris.
St Mirren, Motherwell.
Oh, Love Street, tough place to go. They're a really, really good team on their day. They haven't been doing too well lately. Motherwell are in town. Motherwell have got strength and depth, and he knows how to play against teams. I think it could be tighter than you think, but I still take Motherwell on their present form to come out 1-0 winners. I think they'd take that. 1-0 from me. Glenn.
Oh, well, my first prediction is I think that all 4 of us are going to go with Motherwell. Honestly, I think this is Motherwell will bounce back. They will be so upset with the performance and the result in the cup. Everything that they've got left now is in the league. I think they will beat St Mirren, and I think it'll be relatively comfortable. Sorry, St Mirren. I think it'll be 2 or 3. I'm going to go 3.
Oh,
yeah. Well, the other thing though, Motherwell will be 2 players short, won't they?
Aye.
Because the 2 boys that were red carded.
Do the cup? If you get sent off in the Scottish Cup now, in the League Cup, it carries into the league. But I don't know if the Scottish Cup carries into the league.
Well, I think it must do. Otherwise, I mean, you're waiting all year, aren't you, before you get your suspension? So it must. I would think. I mean, I don't know. No doubt someone in the comments below will tell us, but I think you do. I
was wondering about that for the Aberdeen boy, Geiger, as well.
Yeah. So I also, St Mirren, since the League Cup, seem to have lost their way. And I think the Motherwell, even with players down, I think they'll win quite comfortably. 2-0 for me.
2-0.
I mean, I'd say the same. Literally, St Mirren did in Aberdeen after they won the cup. So, yeah, St Mirren, Motherwell 2-0, an angry Motherwell 2-0.
Yeah. You're right, Glenn. You predicted all of us would go for Motherwell.
Which means Motherwell going to lose.
Aye. Next one, what have we got?
So it's Sunday games in at Celtic, Hibernian.
Oh, I tell you what, if Celtic play like they did last night, Hibs can take them. Seriously, that was a shambolic. Running in shadows, second ball, never a chance. I don't know what's happened to Celtic. I think they're a really poor team, and last night proved that. And you can say that Stuttgart are a really good team, but this is European football. And I'm going to take Hibs. I reckon Hibs can take a 1-0 win here. They need points. They're playing better football. Hibs to take that one 1-0. Roddy.
Well, it depends if it's a 90-minute game or 112 minutes.
No, that's true.
They're getting rid of that. They don't put up, like 6 minutes to play. Till Celtic scored a goal.
Exactly.
But it's Celtic. The one thing you should never do with either of the old firm is to write them off, or when their backs against the wall, that's when they're likely to come back and bite you in the bum. However, Hibs are a wee bit like the Scotland rugby team. They blow hot and cold on their day.
Yes.
Hibs are amazing and wonderful to watch.
Yeah.
And the other days they're just like relegation material. They really are. So I don't know which team's going to sit up, but there's always usually a reaction after a midweek European game. But it's at Parkhead, and Martin knows how to get a tune out of them. So I'm going to say 2-1 to Celtic, much as I hate to say it. Not the score I want to see, but it's the score I think I will see.
Yeah, it's what we expect to happen. It's what we want. Chris, what do you expect? Parkhead?
Well, I think might be an element of Celtic being jaded after their 112-minute games, so that could play into it. I don't know. I think the Boo Boys will be, they'll be in full voice. There'll not be a lot of happy. Is he going to change and get Cena Salah in goals? I don't know. I think he should, but I think it's going to be an uncomfortable match. But I'd say one each.
One each. One each. Yeah. Glenn.
I think it'll be a tight game. I think Celtic will be a bit jaded, but I don't know, not overly impressed with Hibs. Mostly, even though they played some decent football, they've lost Kieran Bowie.
Mm-hmm.
I also think they've got, if I remember rightly, they've got an appalling record at Celtic Park. 16 years since 2010, they haven't won. They've only had, the best results are 4 draws in 16 years. I think they'll put up a fight. They'll score a goal. I think it'll be 2-1 to Celtic. It'll just be another narrow win for Martin O'Neill. No team, nobody's beat Martin O'Neill domestically yet this season.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Coming home.
Can you predict who it is, Roddy?
Get me on.
Who's going to do it?
Get me back next week.
There must be one left, Chris.
Livy against Rangers.
Yeah.
Aye. I'm taking Livy to hammer the Rangers in this one. Easy peasy. I heard an interview, by the way, a Livy player. He says, we might be bottom, but it only takes 3 wins till we're back up again. It's those 3 wins, mate, that are the problem. You know what I mean?
Aye, 3 wins in the championship. He means.
I don't know. But the thing is, they've got a new manager. He's turned things about. Can they do anything to halt Rangers? This guy, Danny Rawls, got Rangers playing, winning football. I can't see anything but a Rangers win, I'm afraid, even though the pride and the professionalism of that Livingston player are unquestionable. I think on this occasion, you will be on the losing end of maybe a 2-0 win for Rangers. Glenn?
Yeah, I can only agree with you there. I think, look, they are playing a bit better. They've been a bit unlucky in a couple of defeats that they've had, but I think Rangers will be too good for them on the day, even though they'll have a wee advantage with the pitch. I think he'll set them up well. I don't think they're going to thump them. I think it'll be quite tight, 2-0 to Rangers, just to clarify.
I mean, they were very unlucky at Parkhead against Celtic. I mean, it was again in the 97th minute or something. They've not been getting hammered. It is at their own ground, but I think confidence is going with the Rangers just now. I would hope they would win it comfortably, and I'm saying 3-0 to the Rangers.
3-0. Aye. Chris, what do you think?
I'd say 2-0. I think they're just waiting for the hammer to fall, to be honest. And I don't think Rangers need to go there and show a strength. And I think they'll go there, get the win, and leave town back home safe with the points. 2-0.
Well, Danny Roll says if they keep up the intensity, they'll win any game. And John Suter's just signed a new 1-year deal. Good player, Scotland player. So they're on the right roads, I suppose. But that's all we've got time for on tonight's show. A bit later than usual, but Glenn,
final question. Can we hanging for next week?
Yeah, keep it hanging. We'll do the question and we'll keep it hanging.
Yeah. Okay, right, guys. Okay, here we go. Which 3 cups have Scotland's men's team won? So one's easy, one's medium, and one is nigh on impossible.
The national team.
The national team have won 3 cups.
Oh, it'll be the
something. One of them.
Is it something to do with England?
I think I've got them.
Have you got 3, Roddy?
Wow! Oh, Roddy!
I think.
Yes.
Right, right, come on. We need to hear this. Come on.
Yes, come on. Go for it.
Obviously, the home championship cup. Yes, I mean, no,
it doesn't. Well, that's not a cup, but yeah.
No, was it the Kieran Cup or the Kiro Cup?
That's one. That was the one I thought was medium.
And it was at the Empire Cup that they won at the end of the 1946. Was it not something like that?
No, not. I didn't see that in the records at all. But there's some. So after the home championships, a cup. When we stopped playing
Stanley
all
Rouse
of the
Cup.
4 home nations,
Stanley
we
Rouse
started
Cup.
playing for another cup.
Stanley
The
Rouse
Rouse Cup.
That's it. So the Rouse Cup, the
The Rouse
Kirin
Cup.
Cup, but what's the third one?
Consolation Cup.
The Egg Cup.
Mickey Mouse Cup.
Aye. Can it be? We're left with a difficult one, yeah?
The
Do you want to
World
answer?
Cup.
Yeah, go for it.
I've got amnesia. Is it the World Cup?
No, that's later this year.
Right, got you. Sorry,
Aye.
spoke too
Yeah.
soon. Sorry.
I know.
Sorry, Stevie.
Right, what was the third one?
Just give us a Glenn.
All right, okay. Honestly, bizarre as anything. In 2015, we won the Qatar Airways Cup.
Qatar Airways Cup. Who did we beat to get that?
We beat Qatar 1-0.
Right.
Oh, is that it? Wasn't it? Oh,
I know.
Oh, right. Oh, right. Right. That is it for tonight.
What gets taken to every cup final but is never ever used?
What is taken?
The loser's ribbon.
Correct. I nearly knocked a guy out in the pub for that one.
Great restraint, Roddy. Great restraint.
Right, I'm going to get my supper in about 5 minutes' time, so I have to vamoose. Listen, if you like what you saw and you stayed to the very end, remember share and subscribe to the station. Helps us going on, and like it if you like this kind of stuff. Like it, Roddy. Listen, thanks so much for coming on. It's been a blast having you on, mate.
Love it. It's my other love apart from politics is sport, especially the football and the rugby.
Oh well, listen, we've got your number. We'll maybe tap you up for another couple of episodes.
Anytime. I'm here anytime you like, guys. Love it.
Chris, all the best, mate. And Glenn, thanks a lot, man. And
we'll guys, have a great weekend. Curling final is on Saturday night. Scotland,
yes.
Scotland, Canada.
They're playing under a British flag, aren't they?
Yeah, but that's just to make Roddy feel okay.
Don't say that, Tom. Oh, for heaven's sake. He'll never come back. Right, that's it. All the best, guys.
See you later, guys. Take care.
Cheers now. Bye now.